ladies and gentlemen, come to the stage. One of my favorite people on and off the stage. Very funny. Please put all attention forward for my good friend Joseph Schles. Everybody, please.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hey, everyone. Hello. My name is Joseph Schles, and I'm a homosexual. I mentioned this right off the bat, not because I think this is the most important thing about me, or even necessarily the most interesting thing about me. It's just that this first story that I always like to tell doesn't really make a lot of sense if you don't know that. People get confused when I don't preface it. Oh, anyway, now you know. So the story. So the other day, I was blowing this guy, and much like my family, you guys are probably not too surprised about the fact that I'm gay. That's usually a giveaway when I say hello. But what people are more surprised to find out is that I am a stone cold slut. It catches people off guard, and I understand. You know, it's like the vibe I put off. I know I have a very Paul Blart Mall Cop vibe. How dare you laugh at that? How dare you? But you know, Paul Blart's not the kind of guy you look at and you're like, he's probably getting laid all the time. And I imagine it's the same for me. But you know, I will say, where there's a will, there's a way. Or in my case, where there's a Will, or a Pedro, or a Justin. You know, as I am like aging, it is getting a little bit harder to maintain the level of sluttiness that I like to stay at, you know what I mean? And it's like, you have to adjust, you know, you gotta go with the times and what's going on. And I used to say that my type was like slim Latino bottoms, and I still like that. If you know that, I'm still into it. But as I'm getting older and a little rounder, it's like, okay, you know, I gotta change. And nowadays, I would say that my type is consenting. Basically, if you're into it, so nicer. You know, like, okay, like I was saying, as I'm getting older, you know, I'm learning things too. Side note, getting older, it was just my birthday a few days ago. I just turned 34, so it's a milestone. I outlived Jesus. That is a big, you don't get a lot of milestones after 25 or 30, all right? So I'm taking whatever I can get. But as you get older, you learn things about life. Life has a way of like constantly surprising you in really unexpected ways. For example, if you would have told teenage Joseph, hey, one day when you're living in Hollywood, I'd be like, Hollywood? Yeah, it's cool. One day when you're living in Hollywood, you're going to find yourself thinking to yourself one night, please God, please let me have syphilis. I would have never believed you. But it turns out, I have learned, falling down a WebMD hole, that syphilis and herpes have very similar symptoms, but only one of them is curable. So, turns out it was syphilis, so we're good to go, my friends. We can still do it, don't get nervous. It's very curable, very easy. I went to the doctor, he's like, don't worry, you know, it's easy to cure, it's just a shot in the ass. And I was like, that's so funny, because that's how we got here in the first place. It's funny but speaking of syphilis, guys, I hate President Trump. I'm sorry if you're a big supporter. President Trump is not my fave. I just think, you know, he's like a little bitch. But like, you know, it's not like I want him to die or anything. I'm not going to say that because the Secret Service gets real antsy and I can't handle that kind of pressure. I mean, I'm not even a famous comedian like Kathy Griffin, and look what happened to her. I don't want Trump to die. I don't even want him to get impeached, though, frankly, because if it's not him, then it's Pence, who I think would be worse. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in the White House, Donald Trump is just like a bull in a china shop, just like running around, knocking things over. But like, instead of dishes, it's just like, you know, human rights. So he's breaking. But where I feel like Donald Trump would be is a bull in a china shop in the White House, I feel like Pence would be like a cat in a china shop in the White House, just like sitting up on the shelf, staring you right in the eye as he slowly pushes things off. There goes your right to choose. gay, that there is not a question in my mind, and I'm sure many of yours, that that man is a homosexual. Mike Pence has some dicks in his face. See it in his eyes. And it's just like, you know, honestly, the more anti-gay a politician is, the more likely it is you're going to find them in a motel room with a 17-year-old male prostitute. You guys, don't get mad at me. Crunch the numbers. I didn't make that up, all right? I didn't make it up. But, you know, I posted that on Facebook once, and I have an aunt who's a Trump supporter. But this was like before the election, so she was a Trump supporter. I'm not sure if she still is because I blocked her. But I posted that, I think Pence is gay, and my aunt was like, oh really, are you sure? Have you seen his wife? And I hadn't. I had not seen his wife. So I looked her up, and now I'm sure that man is gay. This woman is a Duck Dynasty size kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, she looks like the type of girl who was in high school and saying, please, Jesus, let me find a man who wants me not just for my body. And Jesus really delivered, you know what I mean? Like, you really gotta be careful about how you word this stuff. You know, whatever, this is the world we live in, guys, and it's like, I hate Donald Trump, and I'm like really against a lot of his policies, but it's like, okay, we gotta look on the bright side, we gotta find the positive things, you know what I mean? Like, for example, the wall. I think the wall's a terrible idea and that it's not gonna happen, but he is still talking about it, and I'm like, okay, whatever, this is the world we live in, and if that wall does get built, at the very least, I think it might really revolutionize glory holes, and that is something I'll look forward to. I'm spending a lot of time at the border. I told that joke to a friend of mine, and he was like, huh, I'm sure the wall's going to be thicker than 6 inches. And I was like, I think so. And then I mentioned that to a girlfriend of mine, and she didn't know what a glory hole was. She's homophobic. And she's not homophobic, she's just not. And so I explained to her what a glory hole was, and she was like, oh my God. Joseph, I can't believe you meet guys there. And I was like, don't be ridiculous, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't meet those guys. That defeats the purpose. So you guys, in other news, I was a chubby kid growing up. Actually, I saw another comedian once before. Started a joke the same way. He was like, I was a fat kid growing up. But there was a few people in the audience who were like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's true. And he did his joke, and it was like, it was funny, but I kind of stopped listening because all I could think was like, man, that must be amazing to get up on a stage in front of an audience full of people and tell them you were a fat kid and then be met with surprise. You guys did not act very surprised when I said it. But I've always had struggles with my weight. It's one of the many things I have in common with Oprah, so I take great pride in that. But I'm trying to lose weight. This year I told myself I'm going to try to go from bear to otter. That was a gay joke, my friends. If you don't get it, Google it. But it's like, you know, I have a Gryffindor spirit with a Hufflepuff body. And there's just only so much you can do about it. But I'm like trying to eat better, you know what I mean? And it's like, I have not been working out though. I need to go to the gym. I know I need to go to the gym. I know. But it's just like, everything there is so heavy. And But on the bright side, there is a good amount of chubby chasers, and thank God for them. Anyways, my name is Joseph Schles.